Welcome back to the Pursuit of Accuracy. I'm Josh, and today we're doing a Real Talk Rimfire video. These are videos that I try and make for you guys, and we sit down on the bench and I talk to you guys like we are shooting together, like I would one of my buddies. No script, no plugs, no paid sponsorship stuff going on. This is truly just a video that I wish that I could have watched 5 years ago when I first got into this, and since then I've had a lot of time on the bench with these guys, and I have owned, shot, and really been able to test most, if not all, the rifles that most of you guys are interested in. And there are some new ones coming out, but for experience sake, I've got to use these, and I've got an unbiased, unfiltered look at what really truly I think is important, what I think you guys need to focus on if you're getting into this, and maybe if you're already in it. Hopefully this will recenter you, save you some time and money. And again, unscripted, it's going to be all over the place, but we're going to shoot this Deuce 2.0 just as an update out all the way to 150 yards. We're going to shoot the KYL at 100 yards. That'll be a 1/4 inch target at 100 yards. Let's get into it. So before we get into meat and potatoes, this is my new to me Deuce 2.0. This is back in the Vision. You guys will have seen that in the Menace chassis before, and I've got some B-roll footage that I'm going to throw in here of me shooting that at a match. The reason this is back in the Vision today is that Menace is a new chassis, so I'm testing it with a center fire gun for Mammoth right now. So this has kind of been reverted back. But like I said before, you know, the Deuce, the Rim-X, you know, Voodoos, just about everything, you know, CZs, Tikas, most of the guns, if not all of them, you know, I've had experience with, shot with, and it's really largely a conversation that you're going to have with yourself, and you really need to be honest with yourself about what you're wanting to do. Because what you really, truly need for precision rimfire is going to vary quite a bit. So we're going to try and cover all that, because if your guy just likes to shoot some stuff at the house with the buddies on the range, that's going to be far different from somebody who wants to compete at a national level. And for the sake of this video, I think we're going to leave that out and kind of leave this more generalized. Now, a lot of what I see people really get wrapped up in is actions. And here we have the Deuce 2.0. There's new actions coming out all the time. It's something that a lot of guys constantly look at switching, you know, Voodoo, Rim-X, CZ, Bergara, whatever. And to be honest with you, even if you're looking at it from, you know, 60 degree, 70 degree, 90 degree bolt throw, to be quite honest, once I get behind the gun, I kind of forget and I just kind of run the gun. It's nice to have a good smooth action, but most of the actions are pretty smooth. We're gonna check our dope here. We're gonna shoot that 100 yard with a dot on it already. Oh, and I basically hit exactly there. Pretty funny. But even when I'm running this, I mean, yes, it's smooth, but in a match, you know, is it that big of a deal to me? No. And so if you're not going out shooting matches, it's probably going to be a better choice to think about what's more economical for you, what you're probably more apt to like. Would you rather save some money? Stick with a production gun. Will the action be as smooth as this? No. It's not going to be so crazy bad that you can't work it, though. Even the factory actions are pretty good. Let's go ahead and go for that 1/4 inch at 100. See if we can get lucky here. Yeah, so, and as an example here, this is a full tilt build. This is a Vision Pro chassis. This is a Deuce 2.0. This barreled action was done by MCR. So basically the best of the best. I got the Element Theos on here, and yeah, you can go with more money, and yes, we're gonna talk about all these things. So to get to kind of the meat and potatoes, and let's shoot that 1/4 again, of, you know, if you're not going to compete at a national level, buy whatever action you think you will like, whatever you like the looks of, whatever you like the idea of. And I can tell you, most modern made actions all have really good consistent ignition, and that's really what we need the action to do, right? We need to get the round into the chamber, we need to be able to close the bolt, and we need to be able to have a trigger on it that you know, we can shoot reasonably well. And there's really not much point of even talking about triggers, because you can get really nice triggers for everything, and it's really a subjective thing. So once you have that kind of issue resolved, then to me, then the biggest thing probably in this equation is going to be ammo and barrel. Now, I say that, and I know that a lot of you are thinking, well, duh, the barrel's important. Well, I don't really think it's in the manner that you think of. Now, barrel blanks, there's a gazillion good barrel blanks out there. Bruck, Smaller Works, all these barrel blanks, they can be all really good. CRB, just off left on that one, is making some good barrels. There we go, back on it. And to me, I think it's more important to get a barrel that, you know, the more money you spend on the barrel, usually the better results you're going to get. And that's because you can have a really great barrel blank, and if it's not really chambered that well, it's not super concentric, then it's not going to have great results. But I think most of the barrel options that are out there, Lilja, Muller Works, you know, even the L3i, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, they're pretty much all good barrels, and they're going to shoot. So it's more about who chambered it. Obviously, just on the very left edge, if you're getting something like a Lilja or the L3i, that's chambered by them, but I've had really great results out of both of those barrels when it comes to just about everything. And then, of course, like this, a gunsmith fit and chambered barrel. I mean, this, you know, is it going to be night and day from one of the other two? Maybe not, but, you know, if you're looking to squeeze every little thing out, then I think that that definitely helps. Here you can see we are literally just smacking a, oh, just off the right that time, 1/4 inch target at 100 yards. I mean, 1/4 inch wide target, 100 yards, not a problem for this rifle at all. So the barrel, I think almost more important on the chambering side. And then ammo. We all know that ammo is super duper important. I can take any premium gun that I own and come out here and pair it with expensive ammo that it doesn't agree with and make it look like absolute crap. And vice versa, I could take a really inexpensive rifle and really go through and find the best ammo for it and make it really shine. Now, that's why a lot of times when you see my videos, when I'm reviewing rifles, I do it with random lots of ammo, because I can influence it if I want to. If I want to make a rifle look bad, I can do that. If I want to make a rifle look good, I can do that. And be leery of that when you're on YouTube looking at reviews. Now, I'm not saying I know of YouTubers who are doing that, but it is something that can totally be done, and I could do it, and that's exactly why I shoot random lots of ammo. I never hand pick, cherry pick the ammo. All right, so we're gonna push out to 150 yards. We're just gonna shoot this and see what we do out there on plate, 150 yards. There's a big round plate, and there's a couple little indicators. I'll call out what I'm shooting at. We should be pretty close to point of aim, point of impact. Now, something that I get asked quite a lot about, you know, barrels is at the top of the list. A lot of people want to know about barrels, but that's stocks and chassis. Again, that's another thing. If you're comfortable with what you have, especially if you're just kind of plinking around, shooting at home, then you're fine. You're not gonna just go buy a stock or chassis and find some infinite accuracy upgrade. I find that most stocks and factory setups are pretty decent, good enough to wring the accuracy you need out of the rifle. And you can really save a ton of money by just doing a like bed job yourself, or some guys even use tape. There's a lot of DIY stuff out there that can save you a lot of money. All right, we're gonna shoot at the very top little knob on there. And yeah, I know I need to do some maintenance on the range. Okay. But obviously this ammo works really well in this rifle, and this is R50. It's insanely expensive, and I would not be shooting and testing this if I wasn't trying to go out and win a match or two, because I can do just about as good with ammo that cost half as much as this. So we talked about the action again, kind of a, you know, get your whatever you think you're gonna like. The CZ, the Bergara is gonna save you some money getting into a Remington 700. Again, don't expect it to be buttery smooth like this. If you want something buttery smooth, you're gonna have to go after the Remex, the Voodoo, the Deuce 2.0, the MPA. And for a lot of people, that's just crazy money. So the Bergara gets you into Remington 700. Yes, it won't be as smooth like I said, but you can play with it. There's plenty of information out there on how to slick it up a little bit. Will it ever be as slick as this? No, but do you need it to be as slick as this? That's the important question. Get something that you're gonna like, because at the end of the day, the action is the action. If you can get the round in the chamber and has good ignition, which most, if not all, the decent build production stuff out there really does. The CZ, Bergara, I haven't had any real issues out of those. So that's kind of solved. If you're wanting to do something a little bit more, if you're wanting to shoot really accurately, then plan on having to get a barrel. I think you can find factory guns that are going to shoot 0.3 to 0.5 at 50 yards. And if that's good enough for you, don't worry about it. If you're looking for more, if you're looking for 0.2s, and we're going to go down, there's a piece of paper at 50. We'll shoot it and see what this will do. All right, let me dial off. I'm going to dial up so I can shoot without hopefully disrupting my own aiming spot, which makes shooting groups on an unmarked piece of paper pretty rough. Oh, do we have a fly? We got some sort of animal. There we go. So that's probably high 0.2, low 0.3, which is kind of honestly the bigger end of the spectrum for this. Probably needs to be cleaned. This gun will shoot in the 0.1s. But yeah, to kind of summarize, guys, look, get the action you want. If you are not going to be okay with, you know, up to a 1/2 inch group, then you're going to need to look at barrels. You may get lucky. There are cases out there where guys buy factory guns and they shoot really good. But the reality is just because one of those, two of those guys are out there, doesn't mean it's the norm. Let's shoot a cider. We'll go 1.6 here. Let me move the camera and we'll run, hopefully, a clean 100-yard KOL. Okay, so we're definitely high and a hair right. All right, let's just go with that. We'll make adjustments if we need to, hopefully spot our misses. And had a little bit of a snafu there. Now, I've had a couple of these with the deuce, and just as a little update, a lot of people don't have any problems with the mags. Mine have been real picky. They only like the Voodoo mag, and every now and again, I do have one that just doesn't want to cooperate like you just saw there. So still working through that. Not quite sure. And I've had it happen in a bunch of different chassis, so it's not a chassis thing. Can't remember if I shot that or not. All right, now we got to get a little bit more serious about our hold. Paying attention to wind if we can see it. All right, 1/4 inch for the clean. Oh yeah. All right, let's run it out. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, just off left. Running my trap, not paying attention. But we dropped one single 1/4 inch target out there, clean KOL. Thanks again for watching. I truly do appreciate you guys. I've been a little bit hit or miss lately. I've had a lot of family things going on. Hopefully we'll get back to normal on the videos. I do have some things that I want to show you guys, some new products that are kind of out in the wild, some that have already been out. But yeah, appreciate you watching. Catch you on the next one.